What's going on, everybody? It's Zack with the Gaming Outsider. This week, I wanted to know what kind of franchises and properties Scott, CV, and the community wanted to see get Lego-ized. In news, we discuss Microsoft's bizarre decision to double the price of Xbox Live and their subsequent less than 24-hour reversal. And we also talk about Capcom's unnecessary showcase for Resident Evil. You also hear Scott and CB's impression of Redout Space Assault, a rail shooter much in the vein of Star Fox 64, and you should stick around to see whether or not it satisfies. This is the Gaming Outsider.
Greetings, programs, and welcome to episode 330 of the Gaming Outsider, a video game podcast with a focus on our incredible community. It's Monday, January 25th. I'm your host, Scott Clark, and joining me are my friends, Zach Parkerson.
Well, how do you do, my friend?
I'm doing all right, man. It's good to see a smile on your face.
Yeah, it's rare these days.
It is kind of rare.
2021's been harsh so far, am I right?
You're not wrong. It's. I think I see all kinds of things on social media, like 2020 is just, or 2021 is just three 2020s in a mask or something like that. I don't know.
I mean, it's a DLC for 2020.
Exactly, that's what it is. Also joining us, Chris Behrensmeyer.
Hey, yeah, I'm here too.
The guy who has more time to play games than anybody. It blows my mind. Would you get 10,000 achievement points this week? Literally?
Well, this week specifically was closer to 8, but total this month is 10.
Okay. Oh man, only 8,000 achievement points. Come on, man, step up.
Yeah, I actually feel like I need to because I was talking to someone in one of my online groups, and this month they managed to crack out 43,000.
Okay, you guys have way too much time on your hand.
January is a good month for doing nonsense in your gaming catalog.
Well, speaking of, I've been doing a little gaming for myself this week as well. I know I reviewed a new game, but my buddy Mike contacted me, who was my old Pinball FX buddy. He was the guy that we'd go back and forth and do score chases. I jumped back into Pinball FX. I know you guys don't like pinball, but man, it felt good to just hop back in there and go through and beat some scores. It was good. I really enjoyed that.
Did you do some Star Wars tables?
I did. I did the Star Wars Clone Wars tables, which is kind of my go-to. I found a interesting way to cheese one particular score grab, and if you do it over and over and over and over again, you can get some easy points.
Oh.
It is the Clone Wars table.
And that's, I mean, your favorite Star Wars product, right?
Clone Wars?
Yeah, right? See, the cartoon show?
the 4 episodes that I've seen. Yeah, it's awesome. I tried, man. I need to just sit down and do it. I tried watching it while I was doing, like, making masks or whatever, and just having it on in the background. It didn't work. I need to sit down and just watch it.
It gets so good.
Yeah.
I would like it so much more if it didn't have that idiotic narration.
I actually kind of like the narration.
It's only 10 seconds at the top. It's not
Yeah.
that. Anyway, this is not the Star Wars show.
But they also have that same guy that does the voice on the Star Wars table. So
that's cool.
It's kind of fun.
So that was probably cool for you going from the pinball table to the show then.
It was like backwards, but so that one was, I tackled that table. I tackled the, Rome table, which is one of the toughest tables for me in terms of like trying to figure out how that one works. Secrets of the Deep. I know I'm speaking a foreign language, you guys, right now, but Secrets of the Deep is a table that at one point I had a top 100 score in the country or whatever the leaderboard is on Xbox Live. It's obviously since been blown away, but I haven't touched that table in years. Sat down my first time playing it today and got like 121st place in the world. So
nice.
That felt pretty good. I was playing it for a good 25-30 minutes on one table. That was pretty cool.
That's fun for you, I assume.
It is, man. It feels good seeing that number up there. I mean, I was just trying to beat my buddy's score because he's the only one on my friends list that plays pinball. Somebody please come play pinball with me. I love going on there and getting a notification that somebody beat my score because they do the really cool thing in that where they show you how far away you are from the next person on your list. Like you're only 3 million points away, or like you're this many points away from beating your personal best, and there's like constant motivators, and they give you XP points that increase your wizard score, and like you've got this overall score of all the tables, and there are achievements for each table. It's super fun.
That stuff is so cool.
I can't tell if you're being facetious or not, but it is.
No, I'm being serious. It's awesome when you get your friends score. Like I remember Gears of War used to do that.
Oh yeah.
I think it was created by, I think it was invented by one of the Need for Speed games back in the day, or Burnout or something.
Yeah.
Might have been Burnout Paradise.
It might have been. I didn't play much Paradise. Mostly mine was Burnout 3, The Revenge. But that, and I touched a little bit of Celeste. That sounds wrong. The game Celeste.
Yeah.
That is not a game to play when you're having a bad weekend. Let me tell you right now, sitting down and playing a frustrating platformer that requires skill and precision when you're upset is not a good a good game to play. So I didn't make it very far, but I'm still on a mission to go through and complete that game. CB, what about you? What games have you been playing with your achievement chasing?
Oh, well, all of them. So for those out there that like to chase achievements, I'm going to rattle through these very quickly.
All right.
The Tourist, Wilmot's Warehouse. By the way, Scott, I think you would actually enjoy this game.
What is it?
It is a warehouse management game,
Uh,
but in the style of a puzzle.
okay.
So you think Rubik's Cube, but
Okay.
I said start thinking Rubik's Cube, but you have a limited amount of space, and you kind of have to sort them out in the style of like Match 3 almost.
Okay. Now
But then you have to,
I'm warming up a little bit.
So, but each time the next level starts, you have to have your warehouse sorted in a way that you know, like, okay, I have a bunch of this and not a lot of this, so I need to grab some of these, because you'll have customers come up to the window and request things.
Sounds stressful. Zach, doesn't it sound stressful?
This does not sound like for me.
It's definitely not a Zack game.
All right.
But the only thing you're going to hate about it is the
It's got a
entire game
timer.
is timers.
Okay.
Oh
I'm
no,
done.
not a timer.
I'm
But
done.
they are fair timers. It's not like, oh, you have 15 seconds. It's
gotcha.
like each round is like 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and there's only 4 customers per round. So it's not hard.
Okay. What else?
Tennis in the Face.
What?
Tennis in the first.
In the face.
It's a fun little 2D side-scrolling, well, not so much side-scrolling, but a precision arcade shot. So there's like different targets around the room, and you have like 4 or 5 shots, and you have to hit all the targets.
Oh, so it's about angles and stuff?
It's all about angles. So it's a fun little game.
Yeah.
I 100%ed that one. That I actually enjoyed that game. The Journey Down parts 1, 2, and 3.
Got a whole
each one of
trilogy in this week, huh?
Yeah. Each one of those is 1,000 achievement points. It is quite possibly one of the worst stories I've ever played, but it's super easy.
All right.
If you're going to play it, get a guide to do it, because otherwise you're going to get lost very, very quickly.
All right.
Freddy Spaghetti.
This sounds made up.
Freddy Spaghetti is actually a lot of fun. You are a sentient piece of spaghetti noodle, and you have to travel around destroying or running away from things. It's very interesting. The mechanics to move around. Do you guys remember a couple years ago there was that game I Am Bread?
Yes.
That was like super hard.
It took the world by storm, I Am Bread.
Yes, it was very fun. Similar thing. You just kind of have to traverse around an area, but as a piece of spaghetti. Story's really dumb.
Yeah, it sounds like it should be narrated by Tom Green.
It should be, but it has a like very English accent narration. And then finally round out by Poggy, which
I read that as Roundabout. I was thinking that was the limo spinning game, but it was.
Wait, is the name of the game Round Out by Poggy?
yes.
Okay. I thought you were weirdly just listing the developer for no reason.
No, like when you actually look this game up in a storefront, it's actually round out by Poggy.
Weird.
right.
It should
like
have been
a-
a mobile game.
Is it like how it's Marvel's Avengers and Marvel's Spider-Man and Round Out by Poggy?
This one's really simple though. It's you get a combination of letters, and you just have to make as many words as possible with those letters.
So like Boggle.
Kind of, yeah. But
Right.
it's very crossword oriented.
Right.
There is one adult themed achievement in that one.
Oh, really?
You
It's
have
a lot
to
of dirty word.
You have to spell out a dirty word.
Nice. I like
Is
it.
it anatomical in nature?
Yes, it is.
All right.
Yeah.
What'd you think of The Tourist?
The Tourist, I actually am kind of enjoying. I'm not 100% done with it yet, but I like the way it plays. It's
like Minecraft with purpose.
Yes, it is. But the story is kind of interesting. The mechanics are fun. It very much reminds me of Minecraft Dungeons.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. Zach, what about you? What have you been playing to catch up on?
I've just been dabbling in some more Arkham Asylum.
Yeah,
going for the platinum.
Nice.
The
That's a lot of Riddler trophies.
Yeah, but I'm doing the Riddler trophies again, and they are so fun. It's got to be, I think it's probably my 4th time going for 100% completion in Arkham Asylum.
Yeah?
And it's just as fun as it ever was, man.
Nice.
So good.
I know
you love those Batman games.
I know you don't like the Riddler trophy, Scott, but I actually really enjoy them.
They're I think they're fun. They're great. They're almost relaxing in a way. Tracking them all down.
Well, because there's no timer.
Well, sure. There aren't usually timers on collectibles.
Yeah, I know, but
then and then you get enough of them, and then Riddler is just like, "What? You might have to be cheating. There's no way." which is also fun. It's the smartest integration of a supervillain to mechanic there probably ever will be.
Nice. That is cool.
So smart.
All right, well, speaking of gaming together, we are having another community game night. We've been talking about this for a couple weeks now. On Saturday, January 30th, we are switching it from Friday to Saturday, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. All 3 of us will be meeting online to play something with all of you guys. I know that I may have recruited some Borderlands 3 people on Facebook today. It was on sale for like $8 on Amazon today. I think it was Amazon. And I was like, hey, I've got this game. I've barely played it. Would love to play this with some people. And I had a few takers, added some names to the list. So,
which game, sorry?
Borderlands 3.
Oh, not familiar with it.
Of course you're not.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I kind of want to play that. I'm thinking maybe I should install some Gears. I would love to do some multiplayer Gears. Could you imagine some 4-on-4 or 5-on-5? Haven't done that in a hot minute. That'd be good.
Like a decade.
Also, our January game giveaway is live as of this recording. Spencer is reviewing Hitman 3 for us on PS4, and as soon as he is finished with the game, we're going to be giving that away to the community. There is a link in the show notes that will take you to a Google form that you fill out. All you got to do is fill it out, and you'll get an entry into the drawing that will take place on Friday of this week. So be sure you get those entries in as soon as you can. Spencer will do a random drawing on Friday. With that, let's go ahead and jump into the week's news. Got a new trailer this week for Puzzle Quest 3. That was a surprise. There's a pretty interesting story about Microsoft doubling the price of Xbox Live for a minute. Also, Capcom revealed more details about Resident Evil Village during their live stream showcase this week. And Activision Blizzard merged Vicarious Visions into Blizzard, and they're reportedly working on a remake of Diablo II. CB, where would you like to start this week?
I want to start with that Resident Evil goodness.
Do you?
Yeah.
It was the 25th anniversary of the franchise, so they had this little showcase. I got some details on the game. It releases on May 7th on PC, Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X, PlayStation 4 and 5. You can get a free upgrade to the current gen if you purchase the previous one.
As all but like 3 games are.
Right. Just to feel like you got to say it. There was an initial trailer and a gameplay trailer. There's deluxe editions and collector's editions coming.
Did you see the Japanese exclusive collector's edition?
I didn't.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
$1,800.
$1,800?
Yes.
Does it come with an actual zombie?
No, all it does, it's just the same as the North American Collector's Edition, except you get Chris's jacket.
Oh, wow.
Which is apparently a $1,200 jacket.
That's cool, but not $1,200 cool.
From a collector standpoint, though, I'm more or less curious on how many of those jackets are going to be made.
Right.
I would guess very few, right? That's a very big price tag.
Yeah, they're not going to be expecting to sell a whole lot of those.
And I'm also
just the collectors.
I like that. That brings up an even more interesting point, because with them being the Japanese one, is it going to be Biohazard 8?
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Oh yeah, Case. That's a great point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't talk to Chris. He still doesn't even have the chainsaw controller, so I don't even know what he's talking about.
Shh, quiet, you.
Not yet. He'll get it.
So what'd you guys think of the trailer? Were you a little turned on by the lady in the hat, or?
Okay, I gotta tell you. Not just the lady in the hat, but her daughters, those crazy ladies who want to take your blood.
Mm-hmm.
I like them.
Yeah,
I like them a lot.
I'm a little excited for that, but pervy things aside, I'm really loving the fact that they are sticking with the first person view.
Oh yeah, I mean everyone loved it in 7.
I know. I am like, I think as the moment I saw that trailer drop, I texted you and I'm like, May 7th, I cannot wait. But the weird thing is, like, watching this trailer, to me, it almost seems like it's a prequel.
But it is a sequel.
Yeah, because, well, everything's everything looks like it's from old-timey things.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I think you're going up against werewolves and vampires this time, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of want it to look a little gothic and old.
Yeah.
I do. I'm a little bit surprised that Resident Evil 8 is first person, because I know 7 did not do the sales numbers that they were projecting. So it is cool that they stuck with their guns on it, you know? And even cooler is that instead of doing zombies again, like they did the hillbilly horror with 7, and now they're doing gothic horror with 8. I like that they're switching it up now more often.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of have to. I mean, how long can you beat the zombie?
Right. Well, and you can just keep remaking those games, you know?
Yeah, I was surprised we didn't get an announcement of Resident Evil 4 remake. Or
Well, it sounds like the development has been rebooted on Resident Evil 4. So I think we got a long time to wait.
Probably. You know what we did get, though, is we got a reveal for Resident Evil Reverse, which is a multiplayer game where players can assume the role of classic RE characters in familiar locations. It's free to everyone who purchases Resident Evil 8. I don't know about you guys, but when I think Resident Evil, I'm not thinking, man, I wish this was multiplayer. I don't know.
How many times can they try this?
I know, it seems like...
Was it the Operation Raccoon City, complete flop? The Umbrella Corps, complete flop. Resident Evil Resistance, that was just last year, complete flop.
Mm-hmm.
Who do they think is waiting around for this?
Yeah, we just want to play the story. We just want to... We want the horror aspect. I don't want any multiplayer.
Yeah,
it feels like in the early 2000s when they had to put a multiplayer game in, like, BioShock.
I feel like Capcom thinks that this brand deserves a game that'll live forever. It's just not going to happen.
No.
Well, I need to look.
Yes.
Because, again, I know the series is huge in Japan. So I'm wondering if the sales numbers aren't doing better over there. And if they're already making it, it's just like, oh, it's just simple port. All we have to do is just change change the language file, and instead of calling it Biohazard, we just change the name too.
I'm so glad you asked this very question, C, because I actually was dead curious about the Resident Evil Resistance. The you can find out the Steam worldwide peak or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The worldwide peak for Resident Evil Resistance was only ever at 4,100.
Wow. 4,100. I was expecting at least in the 100,000s.
That's pretty bad.
That is pretty bad. But they keep making it. They keep doing it.
I think it's fetched, like you said. They're just going to keep going. I know Resident Evil 5 had PvP, right? That was actually somewhat popular.
Did it really? I don't remember that at all. I remember just doing... I played the game co-op, but I don't remember there being a PvP.
Yeah, I remember the multiplayer
campaign. It was multiplayer. You could play co-op, but I didn't remember there was a multiplayer mode.
I think there was a Versus DLC. They released for free after DLC. The fact. Pretty sure. I could be wrong.
I actually like that game, by the way.
Which one?
5. Resident Evil 5.
It's great. It's incredible.
Yeah.
CB, where do you stand on 5?
I'm okay with 5. I enjoyed all the lead up to it more.
Like the marketing and stuff?
With all the controversy behind the marketing. I enjoyed that more. But I did like how it looked and played better than... Because you both know I am not a huge fan of 4.
Which is madness.
It is madness.
For you. But
He's just bitter he didn't get that chainsaw controller. That's really what it is.
No, I've had chances at the chainsaw controller. It's just every time I look at the price tag, I'm like, I'm all right.
I think Resident Evil 5 played incredibly well.
I thought
For
it
what
did.
it
Yes.
was.
Some of the boss fights were a little annoying. I remember one being like in where you would go like a path in a rectangle, and the guy would go in the ground and then come up and through the grates. I just found that boss super annoying. But
I mean, it abandoned horror entirely, but it was dumb fun.
it was dumb fun,
Still the best-selling entry in the franchise.
and it had a decent AI if you had to play single player.
Shiva, come on!
Yeah, at the time though, it was pretty decent AI.
It really did feel like Aliens to Alien. Like
I mean,
instead
Alien to Aliens.
instead of being a horror game, it was just an action blitz.
Okay, yeah, they were like
Okay,
fast
good.
running zombies too, weren't they?
Yes.
Or no, they just didn't shamble. They just moved a little quicker.
Well,
I
I mean,
miss shambling zombies.
they were more fun.
They were more fun.
Shambling?
Also, they announced a crossover with Ubisoft's The Division 2, which was the oddest thing for me. I don't know. There's apparently an event that takes place from February 2nd to February 15th. And if you log in during that time, you're going to get a Leon Kennedy skin for free, which I haven't played Division 2 in forever, but I love that game. And then you can unlock other Resident Evil outfits as well. And then last thing they announced was Resident Evil Infinite Darkness on Netflix, which takes place after the events of Resident Evil 4. I think I want to replay Resident Evil 4 before that comes out, just because it's been a while since I played Resident Evil 4.
All of the animated Resident Evil offerings so far have been pretty good.
They have been pretty solid, yeah. Pretty decent. So I think it's safe to say we're all going to play Resident Evil Village.
I already pre-ordered it.
Did you? Of course you did.
I suspect this will be a game where we all text each other during it.
As much
That's
as I
the
love
best,
7,
isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
yeah. As much as I love 7, you knew I was going to be like first in line for 8.
Did you get one of the collector's editions or deluxe editions or?
No, I couldn't afford it at the moment.
Yeah, all right.
Just wait, though. He's going to come into some money. The stimulus check's going to hit. He's going to get that freaking Japanese edition.
Mm. Yeah, but knowing my luck, they're going to be like, oh, the jacket's for only mediums.
It goes up to XL.
XL.
That's
They don't have fluffy size.
Yeah, I'm a big boy.
Yeah, no, I understand. I assume the XL would be the first thing to sell out anyway.
Probably.
For all the fluffy Americans.
Anyway, moving on. Zach, what story did you want to talk about?
I can't believe Vicarious Vision has been murdered.
Murdered? Why murdered?
Because they're Blizzard now.
Oh, you're being pessimistic. Maybe I'm just being too optimistic. I'm excited about this.
I'm
Really?
actually on the same fence as Zach with this one.
Why?
Coming
I
off
think-
the hotness that was the 1 and 2 remake.
Can
Yeah.
you imagine if you're Vicarious Visions, who you've been struggling for years as as a side studio doing sequels to other people's games, and you put out a remake that just blows the sales charts away, gets incredible rave reviews, it's winning awards left and right, and your boss says, "Well, you don't exist anymore."
I mean, you mean they don't exist as Vicarious Visions?
Right? Yeah.
It
I
just
get
seems
that.
it just seems an odd time to be shuttering the doors on a name.
Seems a bit dickish.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it more from the standpoint of that if they did so well with Tony Hawk, how well are they going to do with Diablo II, one of the most beloved dungeon crawlers of all time?
Considering they just gave beautiful treatment to one of the best sporting games of all time.
Yeah.
I think they could have pulled it off.
What do you mean could have? They're still doing it, aren't they?
But not under that title.
I think
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Like, it is cool that staff is working on a Diablo 2 remake, but it's just not the same. It's because, I mean, Vicarious Vision's been around for what, over 20 years, 25 years,
Sure.
and now they're gone. That sucks, man. Like, that's an erasure of a house style, of a brand, of a family. That sucks.
I wonder if they'll still be under the name, or if are they just Blizzard now?
They're just
It's
Blizzard.
They're
merged.
just Blizzard now.
All right,
So
I get it.
Well, I mean, before, like, you got to stamp Vicarious Visions on a product to be like, that was me. I got to do this. Now it's Blizzard.
Right.
Big multinational corporation.
They've just been around for so long, and they made like Game Boy Spider-Man games and stuff like that. They've just been a name forever. It just sucks.
All right.
And again, it is kind of weird that like you help Activision make a hell of a profitable year, and your reward is adios.
I get that. I'm looking at it more from the perspective, selfishly, that I've never played Diablo 2. Diablo 3 was my first entry into the Diablo games. And I love Diablo 3 so much, I want to see what everybody's talking about in Diablo 2, but I'm not going to go back to the original.
So,
because
you'll give me crap for Resident Evil 4, but you haven't played Diablo 2.
I didn't say I didn't like it. I said I have never played it. I didn't have a PC growing up.
Oh, man.
I think Diablo 2 was on PlayStation 1, though, so it wasn't.
No, just the first Diablo was.
Just the first Diablo was? Okay.
Diablo 2 only PC and was freaking remarkable.
Yeah. So I want to play that, but I want to play it remastered, and I want to play it remastered done by Vicarious Visions, who, even as a person that, yeah, I know what you mean, that was not into Tony Hawk at all, could still appreciate the little bit that I played at that game. So I'm excited for that, because I just want to play more Diablo. I want to see what everybody's talking about with Diablo 2.
At least jobs weren't lost. They were just transferred.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, what's in a name?
a
rose by any other name would smell just as sweet.
Inaccurate. Would you feel that way if Naughty Dog was just Sony or something?
No, probably not. You're probably right. I'm downplaying it. I don't mean to sound like it. Wasn't looking at it from that perspective when I actually put it here in the format. I was looking at it more as, hey, this is awesome that this great developer that remade a game super well is getting an opportunity to remake another highly regarded franchise game, and hopefully they'll do just as well. I wasn't looking at it from the negative aspect of it, but I get what you're saying.
The games industry is really going to go hard on remakes and licensed properties for the next few years, huh?
Why do you say that?
Just with like all the Lucasfilm Games announcements, and you have all the DC games coming our way, all the Marvel games coming out left and right.
Yeah,
and we get more and more remakes every year. It's not bad, by the way. This still will be exciting. It's just interesting to see, because we used to clamor for new IPs and new things, and now those are not happening.
Well, yeah, because things have happened in the world in the last 11 months. So, yeah.
I
don't think that alters the entire course of the video game industry.
No.
I'm waiting for the weird remakes. When they announce like the Sega 32X collection.
Oh, like that. I thought you meant like Final Fantasy VII.
No,
that got pretty weird.
Well, like, remember when Deadpool got a remake? Like, who was clamoring for that game from... I don't know. Were you really?
Oh, my God.
You wanted to play that game so bad?
I love that game. That game is great. You shut your mouth.
Nolan North did do a great Deadpool, but I don't know. I just, like, of all the games, I felt like that game just was the same thing over and over and over again.
It was much longer than it needed to be.
Yeah. Anyway, I want to talk about one other story, which I'm surprised neither of you guys wanted to talk about this one, but Microsoft. This story cracks me up, because I didn't even know about it until I saw Zack's tweet, I think, because Zack was super pissed when Microsoft announced that they were doubling the price of Xbox Live. And again, just to be clear, this is just Xbox Live. It was not the Game Pass. The idea was that they were wanting to phase it out, as it were. So, hey, you don't want Game Pass, that's fine, but you're going to pay more for Xbox Live. And the internet went nuts. Just exploded, much like Zack did.
Yeah, well, I described it as bullying. Microsoft is bullying you into getting Game Pass.
Right.
Well,
I mean, is it costing them any more money having a standalone Xbox Live service? Like, if you want just...
Yes and no. It costs money to print all the stuff and to do all the separate announcements for it.
And the codes, yeah.
I honestly think they should just discontinue it and just make it one thing. Be done with it.
I mean, here's the thing. They doubled, like you said, they doubled the price. It was going to be $60 for 6 months. Isn't that the exact same price as Ultimate? Isn't Ultimate like 10? Oh, no. It was just Game Pass is $10.
Yeah,
right?
Ultimate's a little more.
It's $15 a month.
$15 a month.
So it's $150. Wait, I think you can buy a year for $150, right? Isn't that? And then just Xbox Live would have been $120. So the proposition would have been, well, I'd have to be stupid not to get Game Pass Ultimate.
The extra $30 a year.
Right. Which yes, it would make you stupid.
$250 a month.
but for Microsoft, who is constantly positioning itself as the good guy who want everyone to play everything everywhere whenever they want, to bully you into doing their streaming service is, well, that's kind of, it hits harder when it's Xbox because their marketing for the past few years has been like, we love you.
Right. Well, thankfully they did listen.
Yeah, in like 23-hour turnaround, they reverse course, which is unheard of, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's back down to 60. I'm not against them raising the price, but you just got to do a little bit smarter. Be like, this year, be like, oh, well, it's $70 starting next year. And then the next, the year after that, you just got to play the long game like Netflix does.
I was just going to say, on the flip side, if Netflix came out and said, hey, we're doubling the cost of Netflix, I don't think I would care. But granted, that's only like $12, $13 or whatever. To me, the amount of Netflix that I watch is worth $26 a month sometimes.
See, which is funny because I would cancel immediately.
You really? At double?
I don't use it very often.
I actually heavily debated on it because I got the notification this month that next month they're going up to $17.99.
Right.
And I'm sitting here like, oh man, like it's getting a little pricey. So, and the problem is like outside of a couple of their like standalone stuff that they've done, their original content,
right?
But I find myself watching Netflix less and less.
So do I, actually. I know that we're getting off tangent here. I feel like I'm more comfortable hanging on to Hulu than Netflix if I had to get rid of one.
Oh.
So,
anyway. I just started HBO, man. I don't think I can let it go now. Anyway.
HBO is so good. There's so much to watch on HBO.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman got me, and now I can't get out. They have Fresh Prince on there.
Yeah. All of Fresh Prince is on there. And Friends.
Oh, yeah, which is a classic, as we know.
But they still don't have the episode random generator, which needs
How
to be
do they not? Am I wrong?
No, we've talked about this in the past. Anyway, going back to Microsoft, not only did Microsoft shift course and come back to it, but they also said, hey, by the way, those free-to-play games that are available to download whenever you want? Guess what? You don't need to have Xbox Live to play those anymore.
They're now actually free-to-play like they are on every other console.
Mm-hmm. So I thought that was...
I didn't even know you need Xbox Live Gold for free-to-play games because that just sounds like such a dumb concept to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm now retroactively angry that they ever...
You're retroactively angry.
Did that.
That's pretty funny.
Well, I do agree with Zach, though. If they would have announced a price hike a few months from now, I don't think there would have been as big a backlash. It's just all of a sudden, hey, guess what? We're doubling the price. Bye.
I mean, doubling is just so much.
Especially when you're talking about a product that much. Granted, on a monthly basis, that's still, what, $10 a month? As opposed to $5?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but when you're looking at something that is $39 or $29 a month and bumping it to $60 a month, it seems a little bit more hard to handle.
And again, man, they want people on Game Pass. I don't blame them. Right? I know they speak pretty openly. Game Pass is a money losing proposition right now. I get they want people over there, but you just got to be smarter about it. If you had announced, hey, Xbox Live Gold is going up to $80, you probably would have had enough people who's like, you know what, finally I'll do Game Pass. It's like a $20 increase would be like, well, that's annoying, but it's not gonna cause the whole internet.
I'm still gonna pay it. Yeah,
burn you down. Yeah,
yeah. When was the last time that the price of Xbox Live went up?
I feel like it's been that price for forever.
I think when the 360 launched,
yeah.
I want to say.
So it's been a while.
Yeah, I think it used to be $50 a year on the original Xbox. So yeah, it's been a hot minute.
Meanwhile, PC players are like, hey guys, we can play online for free whenever we want. Just saying.
Laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. I just thought that was a pretty interesting story, and how they just spun around on that was crazy.
It just wasn't, because they course corrected it. It wasn't as exciting as the other stories.
True. It was gonna be like a big story, and then we fix it. And the way they went on Twitter was like, "Hey guys, we messed up.
Yeah.
We made a bad decision, and we're fixing it because we love you."
As I tweeted, it was the resurrection of Good Guy Xbox.
There you go.
It felt like Phil Spencer wrote that tweet.
He probably did.
Yeah,
I wouldn't doubt it.
I will say I want to get my hands on one of the $60 cards now, since they're going to all be recalled.
Oh my god. Well, I think it was Amber in our group who works at a GameStop said she got the cards, with a shipment or whatever, and it was like, what? It was like before the announcement happened. So
yeah,
maybe hit her up, see if you can get one.
That would be cool. I want one of those. That would be cool.
Until it actually does go up in another 3 or 4 years.
The $119.99 cards, that would be fun to have.
But the date on the card will matter.
Amber, hit me up.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and move on. That was the week's news. Just as a reminder, everybody, we are an independently funded podcast, which means that we do pay for our podcast hosting services, website, everything all on our own, which is why we do have a Patreon page where fans do have the ability, but they're not required to, obviously, to contribute money monthly to help offset the cost of production as well as give back to the community. As we mentioned above, we purchased a copy of Hitman 3 for review, which we are giving back to the community, and Patreon funds help us to do that. If you'd like to help out, you can do so at patreon.com/thegocast. And patrons at the $3 monthly level will get an additional bonus episode by contributing. And then patrons at the $5 level will also get 2 bonus episodes. CB, could you give us an idea of what those bonus episodes might be?
Well, I mean, outside of the enormous backlog, most recently our Captain N, the Game Master, which we kind of took a little bit of a look back at. Scott remembers things wrongly. Also, Spencer's Community Top 10 episode for games of 2020, including a few of our community members. So I'm really anxious to see what he's got cooking for this upcoming few that he's been planning.
I'm going to hit him up. I want to do a Break the Seal on Star Tropics, which I've never played. I saw somebody tweet about that the other day, and I was like, you know what? I've never played Star Tropics, and everybody loves it. I want to see what is so good about that game.
Is that Super Nintendo?
That was original Nintendo.
Original Nintendo, and it actually had a sequel, too.
Zoda's Revenge.
Yes.
What's that the game?
Revenge?
Yeah.
Zoda. Zoda.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Zoda's Revenge, Star Tropics
like
2. I believe, wasn't the original one where like it came with a physical paper map that had a code on it that you had to like soak in water to reveal a code that to enter into a robot at the end of the game or something?
It was something super weird like that, and I know it actually had a letter in it too.
Yeah.
Because I still have the letter.
Yeah, of course you do.
Well, I have a box copy. Friend of the show, David Page, wanted to actually buy it.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm like, no.
Yeah. All right. Well, again, and like CB mentioned, we've got an entire backlog of old episodes that you can listen to anytime you want to. Retro Outsider, games that aren't for us. What else we got? Legacy episodes. We just do all kinds of fun stuff there. There's even some drinking games in there, which Spencer loves to do. But if any of that interests you, head over to patreon.com/thegocast. Let's go ahead and now talk about the new games we've been playing. Zach, I'm looking at the list, and it seems a little longer this week than it has been the past 2 or 3 weeks.
Video games are coming out.
Yeah, finally.
A little
bit. What we
got? First, we have a 2D little sci-fi ninja platformer, Cyber Shadow.
Oh, dude, that game looks amazing.
It seems very much your appeal.
Ninja Gaiden. It looks totally Ninja Gaiden. I actually am working on getting an interview with the developer right now.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's going to PS5, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch and PC January 26th. And then
also the Game Pass, by the way.
What was it?
It's coming to Game Pass.
Oh. Game Pass, what did it steal?
Mm-hmm.
And then really Thomas Beck's needs to tell me about these point-and-click games. The Dark Eye, Chains of Satinov, coming to PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and Switch January 27th, as well as The Dark Eye Memoria, which is on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, and Switch, also January 27th. These are point-and-click games from about 10 years ago. They're just randomly getting ported to every major console. That's weird.
That is weird. You don't get too many point-and-click adventures coming to console. I know they did the Monkey Island games back in the day.
Right, and that was because it was Monkey Island.
Right.
And this is like, here are these random point-and-click games, and we're just unleashing upon the games industry.
Right.
They seem to be coming at a much faster pace.
Yeah,
they do.
Well, point-and-click games?
Yeah.
That's true. We have Disjunction coming to PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC January 28th. Olija coming to Switch and PC January 28th. A roguelike for Scott over here, Sword of the Necromancer.
Yeah.
Coming to PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, Switch, and PC January 28th. Finally, the Xbox Next Gen gets an exclusive somewhat. With the Medium coming to Xbox Series XS and PC January 28th.
Also, Game Pass.
Game looks awesome.
That's pretty good.
I pre-downloaded it already.
It's the first time I'm truly angry I don't have a next gen. It looks awesome. It also doesn't look strictly necessary to be only on that console, but whatever. The Yakuza Remastered Collection finally coming to Xbox One and PC January 28th. That is also Game Pass, which I think makes every Yakuza except the most recent one on Game Pass.
Yep.
So for $15 a month, you got about 200 hours of Japanese crime drama.
There you go.
That's insane. Touhou coming to PS4, Xbox One, Switch, PC, and Stadia January 28th. Bonkies, which a preposterous-looking puzzle stack game, coming to PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC January 28th. And then the awesomely titled Gods Will Fall, coming to PS4, Xbox One, Switch, PC, and Stadia January 29th. It's quite a year, or quite a week.
It's quite a week. I am all over Cyber Shadow. Cyber Shadow looks amazing. As soon as I saw that trailer, I wanted to play it immediately.
It looks like The Messenger to me. Is it from the same team?
It's not, actually. Our producer, Nate, thought the same thing. Actually, because
really?
when I sent him the trailer and he said the same thing, and no, they're a completely different developer.
Not to insult the developer, I guess, of Cyber Shadow.
No, it's just, it looked very, very similar. It actually looks like what was that, the guy that did the Symphony of the Night clone recently, and then there was the NES version of it, whatever. Huh?
Oh, I know the one you're talking about.
No.
There was a whole Kickstarter campain, and
I know who you're talking. You're talking about the creator of Castlevania.
Yeah,
Symphony of the Night.
Igarashi or
Igarashi?
Igarashi. Anyway, he had the Symphony of the Night clone. It was something of the something.
Curse of the Moon.
Curse of the Moon was the one I'm talking about. Curse of the Moon was like the 8-bit one that was actually pretty cool.
The D-make.
But this looks just more fast and furious. I don't mean that in a Paul Walker kind of way. I mean it in a just very quick movement.
Rest in peace.
I'm very excited for that one. CB, what about you? What are you going to play?
Oh, I'm all over the Medium, man.
I want to play that too.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that, and I may dabble in Gods Will Fall.
All right.
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna. I can't play the Medium, so I got nothing. Screw this week. If I could play it, it would be the Medium. I think it looks awesome.
All right.
Play the Dark Eye.
I'll let Thomas Bex take care of the Dark Eye.
He's actually not going to play it, man. But if I had known you wanted to play it, I got a press release on it.
Surely he must know the history of these weird games.
Yeah.
Yeah, but looks like it's a pretty solid week finally.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It just looks like a PS2 survival horror game, the Medium.
But isn't that a good thing in your eyes?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a resounding success.
Yeah.
Gosh, darn it. Well, anyway, whatever. Speaking of games you've already played, I think you both played Redout Space Assault.
Yeah.
Yes.
The the trailer for this got me from 6 to midnight.
Oh, it looks awesome in the trailer, doesn't it?
I mean, it looks like Star Fox
It looks like good graphic Star Fox.
for $9.99. Very affordable.
Yeah. I'm in the 3rd chapter.
There's 9 of them, and they've got about 6 or 7 levels each, so there's quite a good chunk of content in there.
That's a surprising amount of content.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, each level is like 2.5 minutes long. It's not,
Okay. That
you
makes
know.
more sense. To say, like, Star Fox 64 can get beaten in an hour?
I think you can beat that game in 45 minutes, really. Like, that's if you know what you're doing. But yes, this plays very much like Star Fox. I have no idea what's going on in the story. CB, do you know what's going on in the story?
Rebels are attacking things. There you go.
We're fighting against the rebels, which is interesting.
Yes.
It's usually like you're a ragtag team of rebels. We are actually attacking the rebels or holding off the rebels.
Your new empire.
CB, I want to know if you had the same issue I did, because my weapon, I feel like the only weapon I have is the missiles. Because like I'm used to Star Fox, where if you shoot the lasers or whatever, you're seeing lasers, but I feel like the enemies are being destroyed, but there's no lasers coming out of my ship.
Well, there is. But it's weird. So you actually have to stay with your targeting reticle on them for your primary weapon to fire.
Which is weird, right?
That's jarring, yes.
Because you kind of want, even though you have a targeting reticle, you still like to see the lasers like line up with the ships.
I want that feeling, of lining up your shot, like when the sensors line up in Star Wars,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I noticed this like early on, because I'm like, why am I upgrading my weapons and I'm not noticing anything? And then finally, I got to a mission where one of the ships got stuck on a rock. And I like flew straight at it, and I panned up, and I noticed that it was firing regularly, but it doesn't do a lot of damage. So I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird. And then, so I know you've played this, but the enemy movement is so chaotic and fast that you can't really pinpoint on them for long enough for your shots to really matter outside of the missiles.
Right. So I relied totally on my missiles, and that's all I upgraded, because I'm like, my primary weapon is doing nothing, so I'm just going to upgrade missiles.
I did the same thing.
Okay.
Until I got to the point that I'm like, okay, I have level 4 missiles. And I was like, screw it. I just started upgrading the regular ones just because I was like, why not?
All right. So anyway, Zach, this is very much Star Fox. Do you remember the levels in Star Fox 64 where, because there was different levels, ones where it was just like a straight tunnel that you went through, but then there were ones where you're flying through space and you felt like you're on rails going up in here and around an asteroid and all that.
Yeah, those are most of the levels.
Right, this one feels more like that. I mean, like the opening mission was just like it's just in a straight line, right?
Yeah.
Or when you're on that final attack on Andross's planet.
Right, a real shooter like Panzer Dragoon or
Right, but this one is, in the trailer, it almost makes it look like you have free range mode movement, and
that
you
is
don't.
not what I got from the trailer.
No, okay. I that's what I got from the trailer. But that is definitely not there. It is very much Star Fox, in that you don't have any control over the direction. Well, you have some control, because sometimes there is all range mode, although they don't call it that. You just have free movement, and surprisingly enough, the missions kind of vary. It's not all just the same. It's not just A to B. There's ones where you may have to go acquire like these battery things or something, or destroy these charges, and then you go back to the waypoint so you have more free movement. There's ones where you're escorting ships. There's one where you're just basically taking down either a big ship or a gigantic boss. I don't know. How are you feeling about this game, CB?
I'm kind of enjoying it. It's nice to have something in the lines of Star Fox as a shooter. I do notice though that you have kind of free range movement until you get to a story beat, and then it turns into kind of on rails.
Right.
How far are you into this?
I'm only in like the 2nd chapter or whatever that you were talking about. I just dabbled in it the one night.
I mean, I'm actually enjoying it. I went through and 100%ed the first chapter, and I'm almost 100% through the second chapter.
Yeah, it's very arcadey. It's like meant to be replayed over and over again to try to get. They give you like little, I don't know, submissions or whatever, objectives to get in each level to try to get like extra, points to be able to purchase things. Obviously you want to upgrade your weapons, and it's very arcadey. It's very much it's even more arcadey than Star Fox 64. I will say that the game makes me appreciate Star Fox 64 a little bit more because I feel like playing that game, I always felt like I was memorizing. I knew it was coming next, and it was almost like a dance that you were doing to charge up everything correctly. You know how like you would hover your reticle over, charge it, and then release the shots. This one does that, but it's shooting like 3 or 4 different ones at the same time, and
well, the more you upgrade it, the more you shoot.
Yeah. And then you're constantly dodging missiles. I have to roll to dodge out of missiles. That gets interesting.
Well, I mean, it has a barrel roll, Scott.
It does have a barrel roll. Yeah. I will say the one thing that's frustrating me is when I want to. They sometimes make you navigate through like holes in asteroids, and you just lose all sense of direction. And I can't tell what's up or what's down and which way I'm supposed to go because the camera. The on-rails camera is moving, and you're trying to yaw against it, and you hit an invisible wall or you hit a rock that you can't see. Did you have that same frustration or no?
Yeah, I actually noticed when you dipped into some of the caves, not only did you have an issue with the camera, but the lighting is poor.
Yeah, that's how it would be. I mean, really, if you fly through an asteroid, I guess.
But I'm a ship surrounded by this glowing shield. Mm-hmm. And there are some times when you are in a cave and that shield illuminates the wall. But when you go into some of these tunnels, you're like, I can't see anything at all.
Right. But I'm having fun with it.
It's for $10. It's a solid game.
Yeah. I hate to say that. Like, this is a great game for $10. It's a well-designed game.
You don't get a lot of $10 games that look this good anymore.
It really does look solid. Like I was shocked it was $10. I expected it to be a $40 game, honestly.
Yeah.
I will definitely agree.
Yeah. So we both dug it. I planned to finish it. I planned to go through it's only 9 worlds. I got through the first one in an hour. So not even. When
you get to World 3, let me know because you will run into a wall. You will run into a wall.
Oh, really? What kind of wall?
The boss fight in the third world is timed.
Oh, great!
Weird.
I hate that so much.
It's definitely a rail moment, but once you get to a certain spot, it doesn't matter how much you're shooting; they just fly away. And so that's why I've been going back and replaying to upgrade to be able to hit harder because I got it to the point that there was 5% left. And it just flies away. And it happened on 3 different occasions. So I'm like, just need a little more edge.
Yeah, just a little bit. So again, that game is called Redout Space Assault. If you like Star Fox and want to scratch that itch, I would recommend it. I would say it scratches the itch, but doesn't satisfy quite as well as Star Fox did. But I'm also a little biased because I loved that game when I was a kid. That's the only new game we played this week. We're going to go ahead and move on. Want to remind everybody that we do have a Facebook group with an awesome, thriving community. If you want to head over there, the website is facebook.com/groups/the GoCast. We have one new member over there. Not making this up. His name is Steve Martin. So welcome, Steve. I liked
him in The Jerk.
And then he hates these cans. Also, we have a Discord server with a thriving community over there as well. And it's where we actually meet up to do our community game nights. So you may want to check that out. The link for that is in the show notes. And we have a new member over there by the name of B.R. Billington. So welcome to our Discord community. Also want to remind everybody that we would love to hear from you on Apple Podcasts or anywhere that you can review our show. We'd love to hear from you, and it does help us get the word out. So please do that whenever you can. And lastly, our website, thegamingoutsider.com. You can find all of our episodes there. as well as all of the reviews that we've done, and also Zack's top 10 games of 2020 is now available. So be sure to head over there and check that out. And in fact, I think I might have an email to share with you guys as well. We got a really nice email from a guy named Mike Farmer. I believe it's Mike Farmer or Mike Famer. I'm not for certain, but I believe he is the husband of a teacher I used to work with. So, local guy. He says, "Hey guys, I just came across the website and I must tell you, I absolutely love it. Being able to see the reviews and then have the links to click on to go right to the podcast is really nice. I listen to you guys all the time and just really wanted to send a shout out and say thank you. I appreciate it, all of you, and everything you do for the gaming community." So thanks so much, Mike. Do appreciate it. Feel free to drop us a line if you'd like to us to hear from you.
Thanks for calling out the links. Those are not always easy to track down.
Yeah, the links for
our episodes or even our outgoing links. Just putting the links into our written work is sometimes more work than you would expect.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
So it's nice. It's nice that it's acknowledged.
Yeah, you're welcome.
What can I say except you're welcome?
All right, with that, let's go ahead and jump into our From the Outside In topic. So Zack had another great idea this week, and he wanted to talk about Lego games and what other franchises we'd like to see to get that plastic treatment with a bit of humor attached to it. I thought it was a fantastic idea, and our community seemed to like the idea as well. We had a pretty good response with this one. Where do you guys stand on Lego games? Do you enjoy them, or are they a bit too simple for you?
I think they're a great deal of fun.
Yeah?
You know, I tend to prefer the ones that have kind of like an original Lego story to the ones that follow, movie beats.
Really?
I think the best Lego game is probably Marvel Superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
I platinumed that game even.
Wow.
It's really great. And it helps. Something about Lego open worlds is just super enjoyable to me. I think it's a lot of they cram a lot of Easter eggs of whatever property they're doing, and they're usually pretty goofy.
Right.
And it's interesting to see how deep cut they'll go. I don't know. I mean, they definitely are simple, but that's part of the charm. You couldn't have rosters this big if it was a complex game.
That's fair. And I feel like even though they are simple, they never feel like dumbed down. I never feel bored. Even though I'm doing a lot of the same thing, they're just so well designed. I'm having a good time. I haven't played one in a while, but
right. Yeah, this was inspired because I just finally re-downloaded Lego DC Supervillains. I'm going to finally give it the honest go it deserves.
All right. CB, what about you? Where do you land on Lego games?
So most people know that I love chasing achievements, but I have avoided these games like the plague.
Well, they're supposed to be easy, just time consuming.
Yes. That being said, I've been looking for games to play with my older son AJ for a while. So I figured this weekend I'll sit down and give it the old college try.
Which one did you try?
Well, we started with Lego Pirates of the Caribbean.
All right.
Probably put close to 10 hours into that game this weekend.
Is that based on just the first movie or the second and third as well?
Oh, no, it's four movies.
All four? Oh, wow.
Yeah. We played it we played quite a bit of it. We unlocked more than half the characters. And then I checked the achievement list and I about threw the game across the room.
Why?
All the achievements are single player only.
Oh, you put 10 hours in the game?
I was pissed. But then I also had downloaded Star Wars, the complete saga.
All right.
And we put close to 10 hours into that game too.
Wow.
That one we're probably about halfway through. I will say this is probably going to become a recurring thing for me and AJ because we both had a lot of fun with it. I actually went through and pulled all the Lego games out of my collection, and they're now sitting next to my Series X.
Nice.
So
look at what we started.
Yeah. So yeah, we will be
the
tackling...
Indiana Jones ones are fun, man.
Huh?
The Indiana Jones ones are fun.
I think the next one we're going to be doing is the Harry Potter ones.
Okay.
Because I was at Walmart and they had the complete Harry Potter one, like both games in one for Xbox One, and it was like $15.
Oh wow!
So we
That's
bought
a steal.
Yeah, so we picked that up, and I think we're going to be starting that as soon as we're done with the complete saga.
Wow, dude, that's awesome. So, and you hadn't even thought about it until Zach came with this idea. You just decided to do it.
Yep. I was just like, I feel kind of ignorant on this topic, so I dove head first in.
Bringing families together. That's what I do.
All right, so we've got Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Marvel, DC, and others. What other properties would you like to see get the Lego treatment?
Well, where do you
CB?
stand on these?
Oh, I kind of answered. I said they're fun. They're not challenging, but but they don't feel like they're, I don't know, kidifying it for you. And there's something super cathartic about destroying something and it turning into little bits that just absorb into your character, and that little noise of the I don't know. I just find that super satisfying. And then just it's so simple because all you do is do one button, but when you find a pile of bricks and you just go up to it and press the B button and it just builds itself into something awesome. I love that.
I love the surprise that you never know what you're about to build.
Yeah. And they actually have all the pieces there of it. It's not like a pile of random bricks that just happen to turn into something. They actually design it the way that you would like it all fits together. It's so cool. Legitimately cool.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right, CB.
So, as far as things that I would like to see get made, well, first off, I want to start with my listener comments because I kind of have a play on some of them.
Okay.
First off, Aaron Gray. I would gladly play a Game of Thrones version, but I'd like to see a change in play style to a survival style 7 Days to Die type game.
What's 7 Days to Die?
7 Days to Die, it's a survival game. You'd hate it.
Okay.
Published by Telltale.
Yes, and it's actually a lot of fun. I put like 200 days into that game. Lego Worlds was a fun sandbox title, but lacked direction for me. So there's that one. And then Michael Bonovich said it would probably be very niche, but I pick Star Trek. Gives the movies the complete saga treatment. They could milk all the TV series. Well, most of them. I agree that Enterprise kind of sucked. Characters are diverse enough to make certain skills unique to solve the usual Lego puzzles, and have space dogfights so I could shoot the bricks off a Klingon bird of prey.
That sounds amazing. That needs to happen right now.
As a lifelong Star Trek fan, I agree.
Like,
wow.
There are so many characters. You want to talk about like a huge roster? Like, think of the one in, was it Marvel that had just like a gigantic page of little faces? I
feel like they upgrade. You try to top themselves on amount of playable characters every time.
Right.
Oh yeah. So I actually went through and wrote down a list of things. I have 4.
Okay.
But I actually wrote like movie series or TV shows that I'd like to see done, and then gave some highlight points. First off, for kids, I have Toy Story, but in Lego style. Yeah. Which I'm surprised hasn't been done yet because it's a great kid's story. I'm
actually very surprised it hasn't been done yet now that you say it. Because they did they did The Incredibles, so they have access to Pixar.
Yeah. You got 4 movies plus like all the side shoot stuff that they've done. And it's actually it's like an old enough movie series now that you could draw a lot of adults into that too.
Yeah.
Then the other 3 are more adult centered.
All right.
James Bond.
I think Sean Coates had a comment about James Bond.
Yes, he did. But lots of story. Could be very interesting to bring younger people into the James Bond world. Not to mention, there is a ton of gadgets that would be an absolute riot to play with.
That's a good point, yeah.
Here's Sean's comment, by the way, since you stole my comment from Michael Bonovich. He says, I want to see Lego James Bond. I don't know what the formula is in today's Lego games, but with the old Star Wars Indiana Jones games, There would be a themed hub area with doors that lead to each movie. Same can be done with Lego 007. Make the hub area themed after MI6 headquarters, and each office could lead to a different movie. Doing 25 Bond films like this is a tall order, so it'd have to be split into multiple installments, and they could have a lot of tongue-in-cheek humor to all the implied sexual innuendo.
Or even just the jokes of the Bonds interacting with each other would be incredible.
I would like to see them break it down for the hubs by the actors.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense.
Way down in the basement, you have like Timothy Dalton, and
it's kind of mean.
Just be gone, you.
Wow.
By the way, CB, this summer, James Bond marathon, because I have not seen any pre-Brosnan Bond movies.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Don't worry. My wife a few years ago bought me the big box set with all of them.
I was gonna say I have that big box set as well. If you needed to borrow it.
Oh, I love it.
It's quite gorgeous. If you want them digitally, I'll give you my Vudu login. You can watch all the Bond movies.
They're all on my Vudu login too.
Well, whatever. Sorry, just trying to be nice over here.
I know. Hey, we should do a Zoom watch them together.
That's a lot of zooming.
There you go. Maybe it should be a Patreon thing.
It could be. I also agree though with Michael Bonovich though. Star Trek, beloved series. You have all the way back to the 60s.
Honestly, I think that would even be bigger than Star Wars. Not in terms of popularity. I'm talking in terms of scope.
Yeah, you could
yes.
You get away with a few Star Trek games, I presume.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's niche. No offense, Michael. It's got to be the second biggest sci-fi franchise ever, I would think.
Yeah,
right.
So I think it would have a lot of appeal. And I think there's just a great deal of fun in the idea of Captain Kirk and Captain Picard, having to get along on some kind of adventure.
Oh yeah.
Joking aside, by the way, I've been a Star Trek fan for like 3 months. So
yeah, we knew that.
Right.
But you could make this one open world style. Kind of like Lego Worlds, so you kind of have a central hub. But I've noticed in a lot of the games you can make custom characters. In a Star Trek one, I'd like to see be able to do custom ships.
Oh yeah, just a Lego builder in general.
Because like Lego DC Supervillains, they make you create your own character, and that character is central to the story. Actually, you're the rookie villain. So you could be like a rookie captain and just kind of go explore worlds and encounter the other characters along the way. That would be super cool.
That would be cool.
Build your own enterprise.
And then the final one is just for me is I want Lego Alien.
That was on my list as well, but I assumed you were going to say Lego Alien.
But I want a Lego horror game.
I think that would be kind of cool. I mean, I know the Lego has such a kid thing with it, but if they did that right, the whole idea of like these characters getting killed off one by one, and then just like the looks, like the pan look at the camera, like Lego characters do, and like, oh, I'm dead, would be fun.
So that's what I would like to see from Lego.
All right, Zach, what about you?
Well, right off the bat, I just want to use GamerDad03's comment. You know what? I'm curious because I don't think this has been done, but what about a Lego Zelda or Lego games based off other video games? Yeah, they should do this more often. That would be super cool. I never
considered other video games. That's clever.
I know Lego Dimensions had a few of them. I know they did a Portal pack. That was the Toys to Life Lego game, if anybody doesn't remember. And I just think, there's a lot of opportunities. I remember many years ago, Game Informer did one of their April Fool's issues, and they did a whole set of screenshots for Lego Halo. And ever since then, I've been obsessed with the idea of Lego Halo.
That actually sounds kind of cool.
It would be pretty darn rad.
That would be rad.
I also... What was I saying?
Well, I was going to say, I'm surprised with the success of the Lego Mario sets, like the actual physical sets. Like, why aren't they doing this already?
I think there's a good chance of a Lego Super Mario video game. Because those toys are incredibly successful.
Yeah. And not to mention, if you go all the way back to like the 8-bit, it's already set up that way. It's all pixelated.
Mm-hmm.
True. I mean, to GamerDad's comment, I know it's, outrageously violent, but Lego Mortal Kombat, I think would be great. Like almost like a Shaolin monk style brawler.
Okay, I can see it.
Oh, so instead of it being a fighter, being like that could work.
You just over the top fatalities all the time because they're just bricks. So who you're hurting?
That's true. It wouldn't have to be blood. It could just be like pieces of bricks falling apart. Like you could have red bricks spurting out.
Right. And the plot. And I love the lore of Mortal Kombat. Don't get me wrong, but the plot is dumb. So you could do a lot of parody.
Mm-hmm.
And there isn't a hilarious amount of characters in that franchise.
True.
If they were to do a Lego one, I would hope that Nintendo would make a callback to the Super Nintendo where they replaced all the red with gray, so it was sweat.
That'd be awesome. If like the bricks explode into gray sweat.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
It could actually work. And it would be even better if there actually was a code you could enter to change it to red. Like wasn't that like a rumor that you could
the blood code was only on Sega products.
On Genesis, yeah. Yeah. It didn't work on Nintendo or Super Nintendo, but oh, that's great. I wasn't even thinking about other video games. I'm trying to think of, I mean, the Nintendo properties seem the easiest, but
because they're the kid-friendly franchises.
Right.
The only thing that worries me about that is like when you get like, oh, we're going to do Lego Minecraft. Like, it's already bricks.
I mean, they do have Lego Minecraft sets.
I know they do.
And every time I look at them, I'm like, what?
Or you're going to make Lego Fortnite, and then I'm just going to smash my face into a wall.
Oh, come on now. Lego Final Fantasy. And then Lamer Waffle wrote in, I would like to nominate Lego Avatar as a series. As an Avatar, The Legend of Aang / Korra, not Disney's Avatar. I think it'd be so much fun with the different environments and elements. I think cartoon shows would also be a great avenue. Avatar is popular enough to this day that you could definitely do a Lego game.
How about Thundercats as Legos?
There you go. Oh,
Deal.
You should just
I'm in.
Lego 80s cartoons.
Oh, man.
A game called Lego Saturday Morning.
Oh, dude, and then like you have the different hubs that go to different, like DuckTales and, oh, man.
Would that not be incredible? Yeah, He-Man and, all that.
Ninja Turtles.
G.I. Joe would be essential.
Ninja Turtles.
I mean, Hasbro, I think, has almost all of those, right?
Yeah.
I would imagine.
So you just do one branding deal there and knock it out of the park, son.
Hey, speaking of those toys, I know this is a little off topic, but have you guys watched that documentary series on Netflix, like The Toys That Made Us?
Yeah.
Every single episode.
Fascinating.
I loved it.
I enjoyed the Barbie one, for God's sake. Like, just
that was very informative.
Fascinating information to learn about those toys. And they've got there's like the movies that made us out now too. They did one on Home Alone and Elf and
Elf. Weird choice.
It was Christmas. They were trying to come up with Christmas ones, but
okay.
So what about you, Zach? What ones did you come up with?
Well, I mean, outside of outside of Lego Mortal Kombat, a couple selfish ones. I know they do DC ones, but a Lego Green Lantern, of course, would make a lot of sense to me. I mean, the ring makes constructs. It's kind of almost a 1-to-1 idea with Lego bricks.
Mm-hmm.
And I know someone out there is going to remind me that Lego Batman 3 is a borderline Lantern story because it has all the core leaders and the home planets. But Lego Batman 3 also sucks.
I was about to say that.
I thought so.
Yeah.
You're a Lego diehard fan.
It was on the tip of my tongue. I was like right there.
That game is bad.
Is it really? I thought that was the one that was super easy achievements.
Maybe it is, but it's just most Lego games are good. That one is horribly disappointing. And it sucks that it involved all the characters I love from DC.
You finally got the characters you wanted. The game was bad.
Is unbelievable. And they had all the Lantern homeworlds, but they were all barren and useless, and the side quests weren't fun like they usually are in Lego open world games. What a letdown. But then I think, with The Matrix is coming out.
Oh,
Lego The Matrix. All 4 movies. Maybe some Animatrix. That's
perfect.
Ages.
I'm actually angry I didn't think of that one, man. That's a great answer.
Can we have a giant sweaty dance scene?
You could. That would actually be hilarious.
Imagine the parody scene of that. How good that would be.
That would be seriously funny.
Yeah.
The Lego take on when
The architect.
Neo realizes that he's the one, and then all the agents fire bullets on the hallway, and he just goes, "No." I think would be pretty funny.
Yeah.
I think it would be more fun to have the park bench scene with all the Smiths.
I was just gonna say that, like
the Burly Brawl.
I want to go rewatch the Matrix movies.
They're all
so
great.
Good. Any others, or was that your last one?
No, I mean that I also think a Lego Alien would be hella cool.
Yeah. That
Just
was on all three of our
aesthetics, I
lists.
think, translate to Lego well for some reason.
I don't know.
I
Because it's
completely
like in a
agree.
ship, like you're confined in a ship, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know,
Well,
or maybe it's
even
just because
the look.
we've seen so many Lego Star Wars, which is a 70s aesthetic sci-fi, and so was Alien. Maybe that's it.
Maybe that's what it is.
But it feels like a no-brainer for sure.
Gotcha. Well, since CB stole my comment, I'm going to skip my first one and go straight to David Newman, who said Stranger Things already has humor, and I feel they could change enough without ruining the source material. I thought that was a really good idea because you could do all 3 seasons as it is right now. I think that would be perfect.
Not to mention the Legos were really big in the 80s. So that's actually a really big callback for them too.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow make a Lego joke inside a Lego game.
It's like Legoception.
Lego Castlevania would be pretty cool.
Like, would it still be 2D side-scrolling?
Oh, that's interesting. I just think it would. Like, that kind of horror aesthetic would be really rad.
Mm-hmm. I like using a whip made out of Lego, like just like the big block like coming out just would be hilarious.
Big giant screen clearing whip.
Right. Anyway, for me, I'm surprised neither of you said this, and maybe it's just because I'm a fan. Back to the Future would make a great Lego game. Like you said, the humor is in there. The whole like Marty coming onto his mom thing could be done in a different way to be not so creepy. I mean, think of the end scene in the first movie. You got to hit the clock tower and all that kind of stuff. Driving the DeLorean. Oh, yeah,
you could do like a lot of cool racing levels.
Yeah.
Not to mention, you could have some really cool Lego sets to tie in with it.
Oh man, Lego Back to the Future. I'm surprised that's not a thing. I want a DeLorean made out of Legos like right now.
I want a train.
Oh, from Back to the Future 3?
Yes.
That's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. I like it. What else did I have on my list here? I had Wizard of Oz.
Oh, okay.
I could see that totally working.
I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I would want to play it necessarily for myself, but was there Wizard of Oz in Disney or in Lego Dimensions? Is that what you're... You know what? Back to the Future was in Lego Dimensions, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
It's hard to remember. That thing kind of came and went.
Yeah. Nobody played it.
It's sitting in a box.
I know they did Scooby-Doo.
Wizard of Oz is in Dimensions as well.
Oh, was it? That's what I'm thinking.
I think they're currently doing Wizard of Oz Lego sets.
Okay. Interesting. Outside of that, classic Disney movies. I mean, you're talking about the hub worlds where you go to, the different things. Have one for 101 Dalmatians. Have one for Jungle Book. Have one for, I don't know.
You want
Fox
Lego Kingdom Hearts. That's what you want. Yeah.
The Lego Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, pretty much.
But then that leads to Lego Frozen.
That's fine.
And I don't want that. No.
You just got to learn how to go, man.
No, I don't want to.
Oh, the joke that never gets old. Never gets old. Oh, man.
Someone had a comment about Lego Fast and the Furious.
That was a good one, too.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, that's perfect, because you could totally play off the humor. Because remember when the Lego games, originally, when they were based off movies, they didn't actually have audio dialogue from the movies? Like, when they did Episode 7, it was the actual lines from the movie, and the characters spoke. But they pantomimed in the early ones. Right. So it was like they were always doing pantomime stuff. That's what I want Fast and the Furious to be. Them pantomime or Back to the Future. Yeah.
It'd be a nice throwback, because like now they just do straight up original dialogue.
Right.
Like the DC ones are cool because they use all the old animated actors.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's super awesome.
That's pretty cool. I like it. That topic was great. Well done, Zach. Wow, I enjoyed that one. We got quite a response from the community, and I think we've got some good ideas to pitch out there. Next week's topic, I believe, will be a community question. Yes? It's first of the month?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yes, it will be.
So stay tuned for the socials. We will be asking you for video game related questions or otherwise. I think Zach likes the non-video game ones most of all. But be sure to get those in, and also feel free to call us. The number is area code 347-746-2278, or if you'd like an easy way to remember, 3477 GoCast. CB, what's that number?
3477 GoCast. That's how I remember it.
37 GoCast.
But yeah, if you call the number, leave us a voice message, we may just play it on the show. Have some fun with it, guys. We'd love to hear from you. This is all about the community after all, so drop us a line. But guess what? That is going to do it for this episode of The Gaming Outsider. Zach, any parting words before we get out of here?
Guys, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is a refreshing television product in the current era.
Isn't it good?
It's so good. I watch it on break at work and stuff. It's just a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Has aged gracefully. Outside of the celebrity references that I don't understand, it has aged very well.
Can you remember one that you don't?
Something Benet. Lisa Benet?
Lisa Benet Ramsey? She was a little girl that got killed?
No, she
That's
was an
Joe
actress.
Benet.
Actress on The Cosby Show is now married to Jason Momoa.
Yes, okay.
I had to Google it, by the way.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
She was also in High Fidelity.
And her daughter is Catwoman now. Can't remember her name, though.
Interesting.
Zoe Kravitz.
Right. Zoe Kravitz. Gotcha.
Catwoman.
CB, how about you?
I've also been taking a trip down memory lane for TV and started rewatching House.
That show's so good.
I've seen that first episode 9,000 times because the kid with the football helmet that goes to play football and has a brain aneurysm or something while he's playing football.
I'll always remember the model who had testicles.
Yes.
Did not see that one.
Hugh Laurie is my hero as House.
He's great.
Also, the guy that plays his buddy, I can't remember his name. His best friend.
Robert Leonard.
I don't know his
name.
Robert
Sean Leonard.
He's from Dead Poets Society, which I rewatched last week. He played Neil in Dead Poets Society.
It took me an embarrassing amount of time to figure out that House is a medical Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, oh man, that's one of the things that drew me to that show.
When I was a youth, it took me until season 4 premiere, and they zoomed in on his apartment number, and I was like, "Wow, I'm a dumbass." It was a 221B. Wow. And then you do the Holmes, the House, and the Watson to Wilson, and you're like, "Wow, I'm an idiot." And then the finale of the show is just straight up the finale of Conan Doyle's straight up, old stories.
I mean, you didn't pick up over the fact that their initials, even
initials.
James Wilson, John Watson.
No, I figured it out many years into watching it.
Oh, okay.
Back, okay. I was so distracted by Hugh Laurie's performance that I didn't have time to pick up the meta narrative.
I actually didn't know for the longest time that he does not he wasn't American because his accent is that good.
Yes, his accent's impeccable.
I was literally just going to say that because I saw him. We were talking about Friends earlier. He was on an episode of Friends.
Oh, really?
He was on the airplane with Rachel when she was going to fly to.
Oh, yes, he was.
To stop the wedding or whatever. And he had an English accent. I was like, why does he have an English accent? Oh, because he's British. And he actually did an American accent for House. So, boy, that was a side tangent.
Parting words, son.
I don't have much to say. I haven't been watching too much new stuff or catching up on old stuff. I've been rewatching How I Met Your Mother, so that's about it. But
how the Packers doing?
They are out. They lost yesterday, unfortunately. So
I could tell you, as a non-sports fan, quick story. I'm very excited for the Super Bowl.
Why?
Because the old man, greatest of all time. The Patriots he's too old to play, but he's like, I'm still going to play anyway. And then he goes to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. That's pretty darn inspiring. And then this young upstart who everyone is already trying to say is going to be the greatest of all time is going up the guy with more rings than anybody. That's a cool story, man. If that was a movie, you'd say the screenplay is a little hokey. the old versus the new. But in real life, like, that's awesome. As a non-sports fan, I want the old guy to win.
I kind
As
of
a guy
do
that
too.
hates Tom Brady with a passion and just beat my team, I'm go Chiefs. But
I'm saying I don't have an emotional dog in this fight. As a storyteller, the idea of the guy who was told he was too old coming back and winning one more would be incredible.
it would be a great way to sunset his career for sure. Also, I don't know if you know this, Zach, but this is the first time in NFL history that a Super Bowl has taken place in one of the team's home stadiums.
Where is it?
It's in Tampa.
Oh man, Brady's got a shot.
Yeah. So
I just want to see him win to finally put the Brady versus Belichick argument to sleep.
I think you did put it to sleep. You got the Super Bowl without him.
yeah,
But the icing on the
make the
cake will
playoffs.
just be the extra ring.
Yeah, but you and you could never. Again, I'm sure people will hate me for this, but like, because I don't care. Like, it would
You
be
can't
hard
argue.
to say that Brady is not the greatest of all time if he goes out by beating the young upstart on his way out.
it's hard not to say it now before he
Right.
does that, but that would seal the deal.
Exactly.
I agree with you. All right, well, everybody, thank you so much for listening. I don't have much to share, but The Gaming Outsider is produced by Nate Lucas, and all the music that you hear is written and performed by Grant Henry of Stemage and Metroid Metal. Be sure to check out his site at stemagemusic.com. He's got lots of good stuff. Also, please be sure to email us if you have any questions or concerns. Our address is feedback@thegamingoutsider.com. Until next week, I'm Scott Clark with Zach Parkerson and Chris Berensmeyer, and we are The Gaming Outsider. And remember, there's no such thing as a bad game, just games that aren't for you.